Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope everyone's having a great day. I just want to do a quick tutorial on how to set up AWS with GPU access. The point of this is because a lot of people run and want to do deep learning models off of laptops or off of even basic desktops that don't have a graphics card that's good enough to work for training deep learning models. So an easy way around that is to spin up an AWS instance that has a GPU, and you can get rolling from there without actually needing to buy an expensive NVIDIA GPU. So without further ado, what we're going to want to do is first go ahead and get into your AWS console, and then once you're in there, you're going to want to launch a virtual machine. So then you want to go to AWS Marketplace, type in deep learning, the deep learning AMI, and then we're going to want to scroll down to the AWS deep learning AMI for Ubuntu. So you can either do the base AMI or the deep learning AMI, which includes many of the popular packages that are used for deep learning, such as TensorFlow, MXNet, and Keras and such. So we're going to want to go ahead and choose that one. But if you want to go ahead and create a content environment and download those after the fact, you can go ahead and choose the base one. But we're going to go ahead and select this one. So it's big. Alright, so it tells you the cost. Normally they're about 90 cents an hour. Obviously that changes, so sorry, crash. Obviously that changes, so make sure you take a look at the cost. We're spinning it up. So you're going to want to go ahead and do a GPU compute. You're going to want to use let's go ahead and just use a P2 extra large. So this is good enough to use. You want to use a P2 instance. Those are GPUs. You can choose as large of an instance as you would like. All right, and then you can go through these if you want to, depending on, say how much storage you want to use. The default setup is good enough out of the box, but do go ahead and, especially if you have multiple users and security groups, that is something you're going to want to look into. So keep that in mind. All right, so we're all ready to go now. So you just want to review and launch. It's not eligible on the free tier. You're going to need to lay your credit card down and attach it to your AWS account if you want to use these GPUs. So what we're going to want to do is go ahead and launch, and then when we launch, we can create a new key pair. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a new key pair, and let's call this deep learning. And then we will download a key pair. So what this does is you'll access, this is your key pair for security purposes. So you're going to put this in the folder that you're going to access your AWS instance from, and then you'll be able to access it safely and securely. And because you're the only one with the key pair, you're the only one that's going to be able to access the AWS instance. So from there, we're going to want to go ahead and launch the instances. So the instance is now launching. We have our deeplearning.pem, and that is probably in our downloads folder. Deeplearning.pem. So we're going to move that into the folder that we are going to want to be working out of. So let's just say we want to work out of a deep learning folder. Right, so we'll go to downloads, we'll find our deeplearning.pem, we'll cut it, and then we'll paste it in this DL folder, like so. And it takes a little while for it to launch, the instance to launch, so let's go ahead and close out this one. So this P2 extra large is running. So we're going to want to go ahead and right click it, instance state, now it's starting, and connect to it. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go ahead and open up a terminal. And first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to navigate to the folder that we are working out of. So we're working out of the deep learning folder. And then just go through what this says here. So the first thing we're going to want to do is do a change mod 400 to where it's only readable, or sorry, you can't read it, no one can read it. That way, because it's not readable, it's secure. And then once we have that, then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go ahead and SSH into the instance. And there, should be able to connect. And then we'll be connected, and then now we're in that instance. So now we're in there, and then we can activate any of the virtual environments that we want to use in order to get going on deep learning. So that's a quick and fast. Obviously, there's a lot more you can do with the AWS instance, set up users and admins and security groups. But if you're just one person just trying to get in there and get started with deep learning, that's the quickest way to do it. So thank you.